Year 2. I'm back again for chapter 3 of Hotel Flamingo. Maybe do 3 and 4 today. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, they're about to make a float, and Stella wanted to make one with a huge flamingo on it, and the nocturnal animals are staying, and Lemmy was very excited because he was one of their biggest fans. So the next one, chapter 3, here, says flock and roll. T-Bear met the new guests fresh from a minibus. "Welcome to Hotel Flamingo," he said. "Make yourselves at home." "Good morning," said Anna cheerfully. "Let me take your names and we'll get your keys ready." "Mrs. Cunkworth," said a skunk tentatively. She clutched a novel in her paws and played her claws nervously up and down its spine. "Room for 2. I booked it a month ago. I think it's all paid. Is it paid?" "That's fine," said Anna calmly. "I have you here on the list." "You do?" said Mrs. Cunkworth. "Oh, that's a relief. I always worry I've got something wrong." "Yes, we do worry," said Mr. Cunkworth. You've nothing to worry about now," said Anna. "We'll look after you." "That's good," said Mrs. Cunkworth. "We mostly sleep in the day as well. Is that in the notes?" "Yes, it is," said Anna. "Your beds are ready and waiting. If you need any food, please let us know in advance." "Oh, we prepare our own food," said Mrs. Cunkworth, looking to her husband. "We like to know what we're eating, don't we?" "We do," said Mr. Cunkworth. "Whatever makes you happy," said Anna. There was a sudden squawk as 6 excitable parrots crashed through the revolving doors. "Sorry," announced the flock, jabbering to each other about who should go inside first. Mr. Cunkworth flushed bright pink as a terrifically stinky smell rose about him. "Do you have our room key?" asked Mrs. Cunkworth hurriedly. "I'm so dreadfully sorry. It always happens when he gets a fright." Anna covered her nose and attempted to smile. She handed over the room keys as Lemmy grabbed their bags. "This way," he garbled, struggling to breathe. Meanwhile, the parrots bundled their way inside, chattering and cheering. "Hello," said the lead parrot with a wink. "Mac McCaw here. A room for 6, please." He stopped moving, then his head tilted ominously. "But what is that smell?" he asked, pretending to vomit. "That's the strangest air freshener I've ever smelled. Say, Lil, you get a whiff of that." Another parrot pretended to faint and fell over. The other parrots giggled and squawked, and Lil opened her eyes and laughed. "We've had a little accident," said Anna apologetically. "Little?" said Lil. "I've smelled better stinks on the belly of a mouldy old sloth." "It'll pass soon," said Anna. "I hope." She collected room keys for the birds and handed them over. "Room 360, she said, collecting some luggage. "Just a short hop on the lift." "Woohoo! I'll be glad to get out of this smell," said Mac, flapping a wing and back and forth across his beak. "Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Did you get the note about beds?" "Note?" asked Anna. "You see, beds are great for flowers," Mac said cheerfully. "But what we need is a long branch or a pole. We aren't fussy." "I'll get that sorted right away," she said. "Nice," said Mac, smiling. "Thanks." Anna returned to her desk. "I think I'd better call Hilary," she said, picking up the phone. "Though what might get rid of that smell, I don't know. And there can be no loud, sudden noises near Mr. and Mrs. Cunkworth," she thought. Hilary set to work on the smell while Anna searched for Stella, eventually finding her scrabbling through the shed. She was tossing bits of wood, chunks of metal, and anything that might be useful for the float out into the open. "I know you've got a lot on," said Anna, "but I've got some guests needing a bit of help." "What's that then?" asked Stella, bending her head and neck out of the shed. "We need a branch for 6 parrots," said Anna. "Beds are no good for them." "It'll have to be strong to hold that many," said Stella, sucking in the air. "Won't be easy." "I know," said Anna, "but we must have something." Stella nodded. "I was doing some work downstairs yesterday and saw some leftover curtain rods," she said. "Will they be strong enough?" asked Anna. "You tell me," said Stella. "Let me go and look." "Thank you, Stella," Anna said, heading back to her office. She sighed. The week had only just begun and it wasn't going to get any easier. Next chapter, chapter 4, The Secret. Stella dragged Anna excitedly downstairs. So I pulled the poles from behind the cupboard, said Stella, which are perfect for the parrots, by the way, and found these doors. Where do they lead? Asked Anna. No idea, said Stella, shaking her head. Judging by how much the wallpaper has faded around them, I reckon they haven't been seen for at least 50 years. Not even T-Bear would have been working here then, said Anna. The worn metal double doors were chained and locked with a rusty iron padlock. Anna tugged it to be sure it was locked. It was. In all the time I've been at Hotel Flamingo, she said, these doors have been hiding right underneath my nose. If only we had a key. We don't need a key, said Stella, pulling some heavy-duty bolt cutters from her belt. Out the way. Oh, and watch your eyes. With a grunt and a spot of brute strength, Stella cut the chain clean in two. It clanked noisily to the floor. After you, she said. What do you think it is? Anna teased open the doors, slightly fearful of what lay beyond. The rusted door hinges squealed horribly. I'll get some oil, said Stella. No, you won't, ordered Anna. You'll stay right here until we get the lights on. Try this, said Stella, switching on her torch. She passed it to Anna, who pointed it through the opening. She was almost too shocked for words. The room was so vast that it dwarfed the lobby. Vast means big. It was almost as big as the whole of the ground floor put together. Anna couldn't make out much of the details in the gloom, but her heart started to sing. I don't believe it, she said, dragging the beam from left to right. It's a ballroom. Who'd have thought it, said Stella, right beneath our feet all that time. Get the lights working, pleaded Anna. Stella found the light switches, and after a few minutes of testing the wiring and fiddling with fuses, the ballroom was lit up in a dazzling golden glow. Anna's eyes opened impossibly wide and sparkled in the light. With billowing chandeliers and faded yet impeccably stylish wall decorations, the ballroom was wide enough for a herd of elephants to line dance side by side, and long enough for 100-strong conga snake. Seeing this almost makes me want to put on my dancing shoes, said Stella. You like to dance? Asked Anna. Oh no, these hooves are made for changing light bulbs, not the cha-cha-cha, said Stella. Still, I admit it's quite something. Anna walked to the end of the ballroom and found a wide, ornate... Oh, look, here's a picture of the ballroom here. She found a wide, ornate staircase that wound upwards. Where does this lead? She asked. Only one way to find out, said Stella. They climbed up to find their path blocked by a barricade of wood and stone. Looks like we've got something else to discover, said Stella. Another door upstairs, said Anna. You'd want a proper entrance for the guests in the lobby, wouldn't you? Said Stella. Of course you would, said Anna, still amazed. Can we open it up? Stella rolled her eyes. Another thing for my list, she said, laughing. And then we're going to stop there. Ooh, I wonder. How exciting. Right, see you soon for the next couple of chapters. Bye.